Hi guys, the following video is about Ouija board experience and Ouija board stories. One night, me and my co-workers decided to play with Ouija board outside of work. We talked to a girl named Queen, who said she was a diamond. She seemed pretty cool. Towards the end of taking her, we decided we needed to hit some home because it was like 2 a.m. But she wouldn't let us say goodbye until we promised if we ever used the Ouija board again that we would talk to her. About a week later, the place where we worked caught on fire, so a few days after that we go to the lake and use the Ouija board again and asked for a Queen. We asked if she started the fire and she told us that she did. Then it seemed like a Queen got scared or overpowered because the board started acting up, spelled Zuzu and started counting backwards. We quickly said goodbye and moved to the planchette to goodbye. About 2 weeks later I was driving to my friend's house. I should mention that the friend was a girl I was seeing at the time and she was cheating and using me. I did not know this at time. I guess Queen knew because she seemed bad, protecting and jealous when me and my friends mentioned this girl's name. The first time we used the Ouija board, so on the way to her house, I hydroplaned and flipped my track. I had to add a Ouija. I have to add the Ouija board is in the track. Some people driving down to the road stopped to help get the door open and I climbed out. When the cops arrived, they made sure I was okay and said that they had to write me a ticket just because of the accident. I don't have the ticket anymore because this happened about 4 years ago, but the other side of the accident was Road 666, Virginia. Maybe the following story is one of the most terrifying Ouija board and the worst Ouija board experience, and it was hunted by a ghost Ouija board. So let's start with it. My family used it to contact my dead brother while I was at work. Found out while I was at work and I flipped the house. I am a Christian who has dealt with things. Ouija boards are bad and bad. My pagan friend won't even with them. They are nothing but doors to a plane of existence that we should not open. I get home, demand. We decided to get rid of it. After an hour or so we get rid of it. I contact my friend who is the priest. He tells me how to dispose it properly. I then decided to gather everyone and say the Lord's Prayer when we get to deliver us from evil. We weren't able to finish. We were standing in a circle while we recited the prayer. It was 3 a.m. All family members were pushing my dad to the ground, everyone else to the couch behind them. I remained standing. My feet felt like they were in a concrete. My dad began to converse while he was on the ground. I will never forget the screams and the shouting from everyone terrified. I looked up and said, Jesus, grab hold my tongue, and for 5 minutes I couldn't control my body. I was saying things I didn't understand. It was English, but I don't all remember what it was saying. My dad was getting dragged towards the front door. My stepmom said my eyes looked like fire and I was beyond range and yelling at this demon. Finally let it go of my dad and I came back. I'll never know if it was some internal instinct that happened to me or if Chris truly did utilize my body as means to an end. I don't know. All I know is according to everyone I was not myself. I wasn't evil. I was in a verbal war with this thing. We ended up staying at the hotel. I contacted the priest. I was terrified. I asked if I should get someone to exorcise the house. He said yes, you can. Being a Christian, it is your duty. You don't need a priest. I cried myself to sleep that night, clenching my prayer rope, knowing I had to face this thing again. The next day we went back. I said the prayers I had to, with everyone repeating after me. This hated me. I was the only religious person there at the same time. We went to a dumpster far away and I destroyed that board. tore it to shreds. I left home for a couple days to visit friends. I got baptized, which I never had done, but I knew now was the time. My friends said I had a different look. I was glowing and my face on fire. I went back and through the gates of Christ, poured water, blessed it, and went to the four corners of the house. Blessed them. Went to all rooms and closets, blessed them. Items that were missing began to appear after I blessed the area. To this day, it haunts us. Thought quietly, random things sometimes happen, which I've learned to not care anymore. It's no longer my event. It seems to just hope to scare me. I don't tell many people this, but I decided I should consider anything or thinking of doing it. My third eye was door open, with no want of my own. No one should deal with what I and my family has dealt with. I'm not in any way using this as means to preach. If I was Islamic, I would have used the Islamic way to write it. Same if I was pagan. I believe we all have the same GT dress at the end of the day. Just different cultures create different avenues. I would never tell pagan to do the Christian way. What you put your faith into gives it the power, be it your GT or a dominant Ouija board. Listen to me, do not mess with it. It was not cool or fun experience crying yourself to sleep, begging to get rid of something absolutely evil and unseen changes you. Please open your mind for you and your friends' sake. Do not mess with it. It will haunt you for the remainder of your life. When me and my friends were young, 15 or so, we saw a local show featuring how Ouija boards work and experiences of people who used it. As being skeptical morons made our Ouija board and decided to try it out once the sun sets. Fast forward to 11 p.m. or so of the same day, we gathered at my friend's house and tried asking questions. At first, we were just goofing off, joking around, spelling out bad words and other nonsensical things. After 15 minutes of joking around, one of my friends went full on serious mode and asked the board what is the name of the spirit. The coin started to spell out Jack. Nobody was pulling pranks this time. The thing was really moving. Everybody was starting to be scared shitless. We kept asking it questions until 3 in the morning. Then it started to go hostile, spelling out words like kill, murder, death, and other similar things. Everyone freaked out and stopped it, then decided to burn out our handmade Ouija board, and we did it. I didn't stop there. When we were trying to burn the thing, a random gust of air would appear out of the nowhere to weaken the fire or snuff it out. Funny part was we were indoors trying to burn in at the fireplace. Then somehow the wind stopped. It took forever for the cardboard to burn. No idea why, but the cardboard refused to burn until we decided to add more things to burn with it until the board finally burned to pieces. And after getting reduced to ashes, the thing was still present. To the mystery, wind came back, blowing the ashes, bits and pieces of the board out of the fireplace. We tried to sweep it out the house, but it kept getting blown back. We kept sweeping and sweeping until it stopped going back. It was around 6 a.m. in the morning when everything settled. Never messing with that shit again. I grew up always being told to never mess with the Ouija board, so of course I was always very curious about them. When I was in high school, a friend of mine asked if I wanted to try hers with her. This friend lived on an old farm. We set up the board in the basement of her 100-year-old house. We started asking questions and the boy started talking to us. At first we were asking silly questions and he was answering in a similar fashion He told us that he had died on the farm generation ago while working as a farmhand, something that very possible. After talking for a while, we ended this session and went about our day. A few days later, we tried the board again. This time, the boy didn't seem to want to talk to my friend, only me. We thought this was strange, but kept asking our silly question. The boy started getting mad at us. Until this point, I was still pretty skeptical. I really thought that my friend was manipulating the whole thing to give me a good experience. As this boy was getting mad, her radio suddenly turned on in her room. It was completely static, even thought that it was our radio station that normally comes in clearly in her room. Then the smoke from the candle we had lit started rising up pretty far. We flipped out, put away the board and never touched it again. I was convinced for weeks that I was going to be hunted by the boy.